right, so we're just following back on the Cooper Union. Trying to get through some of this stuff here. I think we're starting to head back, I think, a little bit. But in a different direction, so it's not a... yeah, Rob, nice. Nice. All these little rock faces you have to get up, see them all? Explosive power is what it takes. That's what I've been working on ever since I started mountain biking. It's that explosive power. Even on that long climb when I couldn't make the steep part and I just happened to feel awful before it, if I had more explosive power, it could get me up some of those spots right like that. Yeah, so this is just fun over here. What we did back there I liked. Challenging, not crazy challenging. You still get hurt, hit your head and die. I mean, all that can happen always. Yep, make sure the camera's on. The battery's gonna need to be changed shortly. That's mine. Yeah, an hour and 53, but I had the camera on and off often. So I'm gonna have to change the battery soon. I have no idea what's up here. Yeah! How I fucking did that, I don't know. I know how I did it. I know what I did. It was power. I just kept applying power in the leg, strength. I don't know where the trail is going here. All right, let me stop and see where the trail is. GoPro, stop recording. All right, I just missed this turn right here. Let's go down this little rock right here. But as I was saying, I went into that last rock on the hill, just all kinds of pointy rocks up in the air. And I just kept powering real hard, keeping my balance, just kind of going straight up, and there was really no line. But I just kept powering. And how am I going down here? This looks right over here. Okay. So down here, hit that. Yeah, I could never do that before because I had to make sure my handlebar didn't hit the tree. So now we talked about how I gauge myself without segments. I can see in here, I'm doing way better than I did the last time I was in here. Way better. I'm cleaning everything except that one climb. Head's itching. All right, so the bugs seem to have quieted down for a little bit. Let's see how long that's going to last. So what's all this through here? All right, just did a battery switch, continuing on the, I guess we're heading south, but we're on the western leg coming back. So after you go turn around south, this leg is a little bit to the left of the way I went up. I guess I'm assuming that's all north back there. But something went to the right there. I don't know what that is. We're not going to experiment with that now. Cooper Union. Yes, somebody mentioned it long ago, and I mentioned it to John Marshall, and he's like, nah, I have to tell him to come down here sometime. I think he's done a piece of it when he rides with Dave Jordan's group. I think they've come down. Dave does a bunch of the little trails I was doing in the beginning up there. So I could never have done that. Just get between that. And even like we have right here, I could never have done that stuff. So where am I going? Where does the trail go here? Is it trying to go between here? Is a workaround? Is that what it is? Did I get it? Yeah. That was the little workaround. Oh boy, now I was actually having some fun back there. Can you believe it? I haven't had fun in a while because I've just been feeling awful. Look at all this descending, right? Because all the climbing I did going out, those four sections of just continuous climb, and then that gigantic one I couldn't do, right? That was another section. You were talking tons. You're talking a whole lot of grade. So I couldn't do all that stuff right there. What I'm just doing. You can't see it in the video, but there's logs and the roots, the rocks are in the funkiest directions. I mentioned this spot where I fell on the leaves. I have I always wore knee guards. Now I wear knee and shin, and the gouges I can see in the shin part. These are priceless. These are priceless. I should have wore these from the beginning. Don't care what they look like. They don't go all the way down to the ankle, which I was concerned. I'm thinking, geez, if I fall, but that's really rarely where you need it. It's the shin, the sides of the shin, the damn scars I have. Well, it's never too late to stop getting more cuts. So I put an end to it. No more cuts down there, unless it's something, crazy. So I think right to the left is where I went out. So here we are. This is the loop where we go back. And I think up here, this is part of that one of the climbs, the succession of climbs. And there's going to be a real steep spot where I fell on the leaves the last time I was out here. I guess it was last fall. And these things are going to be up here. Rest my hand. This is where I saw the kid. I think it's up the trees down up here. I think it was up here. Yeah, I was coming down here, and you can see all the leaves, right? And when I went across right here, I didn't do what I did today. I let off the brakes today. I was using the brakes and I slid, and that's where I fell. Didn't get hurt. All right, so here there's a gap, so I'm going to jump off this rock and just get over. All right, let's see. So to the right, we know goes to the homes. You can see it right there. Is that let me go check that out. GoPro, stop recording. I was going to check that offshoot out, but I can look on the map when I get home. I'm just trying to see, going to the right. So I got over that sucker. You couldn't see what was happening, but I was stuck in slow motion. The whole rear of the bike was up in the air because I didn't get over that tree that was sticking out. And I had to just shift my weight forward kind of and get the bike to come over in slow motion. So we came out all this stuff here. We don't need to see this going back. I'll turn it on in a little while. GoPro, stop recording. Just another section of the Cooper Union, or one of the adjacent trails. There's a bunch of trails that are just, they parallel it. Is this bringing me out to a street again? Yes, it is. Well, since we're out here, let's figure out what street it is. This is a cul-de-sac. cul-de-sac. Judah. I'll see when I go. Something dry. All right. I've made this mistake before. I remember this street. All right, so let's go back up to the bench. Just some more downhill flowy. Trying to turn the camera on for some, at least I have some speed on these up branches here. At least for when I have some speed going, because people seem to like that in the videos. All right, there's a loop back here. I'm hoping it loops. Can I get over this here? Let's hope so. There was really nothing on the other side. I heard my bottom bracket hitting, as long as I didn't fall. I have a chain, what do we call it? I have a bash guard, we call it. It sticks down a little bit. Now, what is that trail there? It sticks down a little bit to protect your bottom bracket, you know, the shell. All right, so here's all this stuff. I'm just going to take it straight. You know, so your cranks screw on, your pedals screw onto the crank arms. The crank arms screw into the bottom part of the the down tube and the C tube. That's the bottom bracket shell. So the bottom bracket slides into that opening, it's the shell. And underneath that, you turn the bike upside down. That's the part that hits every time I go over things if I can't get the rear wheel up in time. But there's a bash guard, like a piece of metal that sticks down below the shell. This way that hits the bumps. At least it's supposed to. And it takes away some of the impact on the shell, because it could crack. I mean, that could crack, and people crack it. They crack their shells, frames. Yeah, I just learned something new. I just learned something new right there, because I came to a stop and I yanked. I just yanked real hard in the turn instead of trying to do it gentle, and it was pulling the front wheel up again. For people, we were talking about the front wheel coming off the ground, but that's how I got through that. So that was something new I just learned. That would have had me off the bike, right? The goal is to try and stay on the bike. That was another thing I didn't mention. So besides the Strava segments, well, the whole thing is trying to stay on the bike. Let's see what we have here. Well, now we're back on the Cooper Union. Very nice. All right, so the Cooper Union goes to the right. What's going straight? Let me take a peek. Let me take a peek. We're just going to go to the right. I think it's two ways to go down. We're going to go to the right. Looks like it comes out to the same spot up there. Oh, is this where the Father and the Son was? Yeah, this is where the Father and the Son was. And I came this way. I think this was the gentler way. Although look at this grade here. This might have been the gentler way instead of to the left there, which is where I would have just come down. Okay, so that's where I'm at. That's all, huh? I thought it was much. This trail is very long. And we didn't do the second half. The second half goes like 3/4 of a mile in the other direction. That's got a massive climb at the bottom. Massive. Massive, massive. I made it once, but I stopped because I turned the wrong way, and I was able to continue, but I got like, a 1 minute rest while I was figuring out that I turned. So that 1 minute rest changes everything. Did I actually make it the next time I was out there? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I might have slipped at the bottom. I had to go back and do it again. I think I made it. That's another challenging spot for me. I'm not worried about speeds or times. It's just, can I get up it? Can I get up it? That's real steep, and it's slippery, and it's right, slippery, traction. Because the leaves and the loose dirt and the rocks and the branches, everything. All right, so we have a real bad muddy section that we're gonna, when we get to that spot, we're just gonna, is this it? And it's drying out even better already? I don't want to get stuck in it. No, a little bit more. It's drying out quickly though. A little bit more. I'm gonna walk on this branch here. I'm walking on this branch, but look how quickly it's drying. Yeah, so that's a real wet spot. Oh, and up here, yeah, so for this, right, and well, we can ride across on the left there easily because that mud is too thick. So we're going to go over here. Look at the little the frogs or the tadpoles. The little frog tadpoles. You get warts from tadpoles? Is that factual? Somebody answer that question.